On Osrc News at 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa receives Northern Senatorial District Needs Assessment Report, promises to address local development challenges. Para residents celebrate government's intervention on rural road construction. House of Representatives demand GCON for Speaker Abbas, rejects CFR award. From the foreign scene, tensions rise as Israel bars UN Secretary General from entering the country. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the news at 7, coming to you live from Osrc Television. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa is engaging with communities across the 3 senatorial districts to promote overall state development and enhance residents' well-being. While receiving the needs assessment report from the community engagement team in the Northern Senatorial District, Aiyedatiwa commended the initiative. He pledged to study for implementation appointees in improving the lives of residents and adding value to his administration. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole provides further details on the governor's community engagement.
To promote development in rural communities, Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa appointed Senior Special Assistants on Community Engagement for the 3 senatorial districts to address residents' needs based on their request. The event at the governor's office in Akure allowed Aiyedatiwa to gather first-hand information about the challenges facing the Northern Senatorial District. Led by the senior aide, Bode Obanla, the initiative aimed to collaborate with local residents and establish an advisory council to enhance community welfare.
We discussed with them about your government and what you are doing. We did that, and after doing all those things, we move around with my team. I have a team that I move around with. Having collected all those data, people are very happy that this team must go through advisory council.
Chairman of the advisory council and lawmaker representing Osrc Federal Constituency, Timei Adelegbe, praised Aiyedatiwa for his vision and commended Mr. Obanla for realizing the governor's goals through this initiative.
This document is not only useful to you as a governor, it's useful to me as a constituency person. It's also useful to a senator because they also have opportunity for some little money for contract implementation. They can look at it, look at their own constituency, look at what they are lacking, so that those will be part of what they will put in the budget. What we did here is not for this present government, it's for the next government coming. So if you are not confident that you will win the next election, you don't need this. And I tell people that what you put in the community, it will benefit the community.
Council Secretary Babatunde Kolawole expressed gratitude for Aiyedatiwa's commitment to state development.
We know that these needs will surely come to fruition. We trust you, and we know that whatever you say, by the grace of God, will come to pass.
Upon receiving the report, Aiyedatiwa thanked the team for their efforts and promised to review it for implementation, stating it will guide resource allocation to meet community needs effectively. Governor Aiyedatiwa lauded Obanla's proactive approach in involving stakeholders and achieving set objectives.
It's not going to be inside the shelf or inside the drawer to be implemented because of the labor will not be in vain. This will not just help only me, every political appointee at the federal level. And some of the interventionist agencies like NDDC too, by the time they want to do anything in the Northern Senatorial District, we can also point some of these things to them so that they can look at it, so that we won't be, there won't be duplication of projects so that we can manage the resources that we have. Thank God it's coming at the time. Budget for year 2025 is being put together. So we'll look at some of them, and that will be part of our budget. By the time the budget people are putting there, one is going to be submitted to them anyway, so that by the time they are doing their community engagement, because they always go out too.
The report outlines immediate and long-term development needs, focusing on critical areas such as power supply, infrastructure, education, and healthcare, essential for regional growth. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, residents of Barre in Ilaja local government area have applauded the Ondo State government's intervention in rural roads construction in the area. The 3.5 kilometers Ebute-Kware to Okepare rural road project is to address the transportation challenge threatening the marketing prospects in the area. The State Director General, Rural Access Agricultural Marketing Project (RAMP), Adeni Adelabu, said the continuous payment of counterpart fund by Ondo State government has positively influenced the state's rating by the World Bank. Omoriola Ogbenji has details.
Okpare in Ilaje local government area is recognized to be among the largest fish market hubs in the country despite the poor road network. Little wonder the joy of the people knew no bounds as they rolled out the drums at the flag-off ceremony of physical implementation of the 3.5 kilometers Ebute-Kware to Okepare Rural Road project by the state governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa.
For a very long time, we have been looking for this project. Now we have found it.
We have never seen a wonderful governor like this. He has a lot of development to our area. And we believe that after election, the area is going to be wonderful.
This thing is going to foster development, foster growth to this area. We know that Ondo South Senatorial District is the pillar that holds the economic activities of Ondo State.
But now, this road has been cleared by the then Sopadek, Ajimuda Debo, long ago. He has cleared it. Ever since, we are just looking. But thank God that God has brought Oda to Audiron.
Director General of RAMP in Ondo State, Adeni Adelabu, commended the support of the state government for making the project a reality. According to him, the project has commenced in other two senatorial districts.
The state government had also perfected the sector reform by signing of the bills for the establishment of Rural Access and Rural Authority, called RARA, and the establishment of State Road Funds, SRF. These bills have been signed into law. That's a good news. It's a good place to clap for our able government. And awaiting constitution of his board by the same Mr. Governor. Can we clap again?
Lead consultant of the project, Olabode Sadoju, speaks on the procedures in handling the project being a coastal area with the assurance of standard execution.
When I was talking about the subgrade, they will now have the subbase, the base course, and the wearing. The wearing is the asphalt. What it's doing is to protect, since it's going to be waterproof, it will protect the other structure of the road. And it's going to be, by God's grace, when the asphalt is over there, then the underneath is protected.
State Project Coordinator Femi Adetomi called for the residents' cooperation in achieving a desired result.
I expect them to be more supportive. At least we have our contractor in place in their community. We want them to provide self-security, the community security for them so that the work can be accomplished within the timeline set for the contract.
The project is expected to be completed in 18 months. Omoriola Ogbenji, Osrc News.
In part two, after the break, President Bola Tinubu is to depart the country on a 2-week holiday for his annual leave in the United Kingdom. Please join us again.
Ambition.
My G, for our ambition, we go hard.
We go day night till we make it.
We go hard till we find that perfect beat.
The perfect beat, the one the world will put on repeat.
So we chase greatness in every moment, making every naira count.
We put out content after content till it's comment after comment. And with Glow by our side,
we have more to offer.
Because the MyG bundle comes with bonuses,
giving you way more data value and way more steez on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, Glow TV, Audiomack, and Boomplay
in one fly package.
Dial *312# now and select MyG bundle.
Glow Unlimited.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 7 coming to you live from Osrc Television. You can also watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. President Bola Tinubu is to depart the country on a 2-week holiday for his leave in the United Kingdom. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, in a statement said Tinubu's annual leave is a customary practice allowing him time to rest amid his responsibilities as Nigeria's leader. The trip comes shortly after the President's official visit to China in September, when he engaged in discussions aimed at strengthening bilateral relations. Members of the House of Representatives, drawn from various political parties, have called for the conferment of national honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON, on the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas. The House described as demeaning the conferment of the Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, on the Speaker, and the GCON, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudira Kekereekun, by President Bola Tinubu. President Tinubu announced the conferment of different categories of honors on the nation's leaders during his independence speech. Moving a motion of public importance during plenary, the deputy spokesman of the House, Philip Agbese, described as unacceptable the treatment of the House of Representatives as if it were inferior to the Senate, in apparent reference to the conferment of the GCON on the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. He noted that in the order of protocol, the Speaker is ranked 4th, questioning why the CJN, who is ranked 5th, was accorded a higher honor. The lawmakers who took turns to make their contributions said they were not speaking for Abbas as an individual, but for the office of the Speaker. The federal government, through the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas (CNG) initiative and the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, unveiled the distribution of 2,000 CNG-powered tricycles to empower Nigerian youths. The unveiling, held at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja, was part of activities to commemorate the 64th anniversary of Nigeria's independence. The project director of the Presidential Initiative on CNG, Michael Oluwagbemi, said the distribution of the tricycles marked the fulfillment of President Bola Tinubu's commitment to reduce the cost of transportation, enhancing economic well-being, enhancing the environment through the utilization of clean fuel, and create jobs for the youth population through the introduction of CNG. The Minister for Youth Development, Jamila Bio Ibrahim, noted that the tricycles will ease transportation challenges faced by transporters and citizens, commending the Tinubu-led administration's commitment to improving the quality of life of the youth. The Christian community in Ondo State gathered at St. David's Anglican Church for the Covenant Renewal Day 2024, committing to prayers Nigeria's peace, security, and prosperity. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa and his cabinet participated in the event, reflecting their dedication to the nation's progress. Osrc's Abidemi Akinrotoye reports.
The Covenant Renewal Day, initiated in 2008, serves as a platform for seeking divine guidance for Nigerians' advancement. Prominent clergy led the prayer gathering, offering heartfelt supplication for Nigerians' well-being, Ondo State's progress, church growth, and youth empowerment.
We banish all the forms of evil things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
Prayer Director of Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Reverend Peter Abimbola, emphasized that the covenant renewal symbolizes a spiritual commitment between the Ondo State government and God.
It's a pact between Ondo State and God, acknowledging the fact that God owns everything. And so those who are the saddle of governance, they must put God first. It's about the church and the government coming together to reaffirm, to renew that God, you own us, and we are equally giving ourselves to you.
Evangelist Funshaw Isaac preached on the theme, "The government shall be upon his shoulder," highlighting the importance of fearing God and promoting unity.
The Bible says, he that must rule in the affairs of men, first must be just. Secondly, must rule in the fear of God. Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and the needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. That is the work of the ruler.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa acknowledged God's authority during the Covenant Renewal session and expressed confidence in Nigeria's ability to overcome challenges.
I, Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa, the Governor of Ondo State of Nigeria, hereby thank that Jehovah God, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, is my God and our God in Ondo State. It is only God alone I and we will serve, and not any man-made God. Unto his hands, I therefore place the government of Ondo State, and I declare the Lord is our judge, the Lord over our judiciary. The Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord over our legislature. The Lord is our King, the Lord over our executive, and he is the King of kings. We acknowledge you, O God, as the one who rules over our nations and in the affairs of men.
The event concluded with a joyful dance of thanksgiving, celebrating hopes for a peaceful, just, and prosperous Nigeria. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
The Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation has reaffirmed its commitment to enlightening the public on critical national policies. Chairman of Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, made the commitment while hosting the management of the National Orientation Agency at the corporation's headquarters in Akure. Osrc's Joy Pius has details.
The management of the National Orientation Agency, Ondo State Directorate, led by State Director James Adekunle, visited OSRC for a familiarization meeting aimed at strengthening collaboration between the agency and the state media in disseminating government policies and projects. Adekunle commended OSRC's management for their ongoing support and outlined the objectives of the visit.
Federal government, through the agency, is now packaging a value reorientation package for the people. And this time around, before now, it has always been the people are not playing their part, the people are not patriotic, this and that. But what has the government been doing? So this time around, it is now going to be what the nation itself will do for the citizen, and then what the citizen will do for the nation. And that's, we call it 7 for 7. And if we can achieve this, SARS and MARS, things will look up and get better in this nation. So we are launching that one, and we are going to be running with it from next week till December. And it's going to require massive media output. So we will be needing Osrc.
He emphasized the need for increased collaboration with Osrc to enhance voter education among the people of Ondo State. Chairman of Osrc, Kunle Adebayo, assured a robust partnership with the agency, highlighting the station's commitment to informing and educating the public.
I feel today very justified with the policy decision we took in this room on finding the focus for our responsibility as a media organization during election. We had a lot of debate, and we concluded that the most important value we must take to the public as this election comes up is voter education. Voter education. Because we realize that whether Nigeria chooses good leadership, whether they choose bad leadership, is a question of their consciousness. The values we attach to the type of leaders we want. Our responsibility is to take government's information to the people, most importantly. Then bring back feedback, from the people to the government. Take back government's reaction to the people. And that is the way it has to be. I see that that is what you are also doing. The only difference between us is that we are one of the tools for you. We are one of the platforms you will use. You ask for our friendship. Well, you have it. You have it. You have it. We have no option.
Instructional manual on the agency's National Value Charter was presented to the media organization. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
To education now, the National Examinations Council (NECO) has announced that candidates seeking to reprint their certificates will now be required to pay a fee of 50,000 naira. NECO Registrar Dantani Wushishi, who gave the update in a statement in Mina, Niger State, highlighted that the 50,000 naira fee for certificate reprints is subject to periodic review. The council also clarified that requests for reprints will only be accepted within 1 year of the original certificate issuance. After this period, such requests will no longer be entertained. He added that NECO has introduced a 1-month deadline for candidates to submit requests for corrections to their results. Moving on to the foreign scene, America's vice presidential candidates faced each other in their only debate before November's election. As expected, the economy, abortion rights, and immigration featured heavily. But the event began with a question on the latest developments in the Middle East. Doya Sawyer has details.
A Gallup poll released on the day of the only vice presidential debate found that some 4 out of 10 registered voters felt both Republican J.D. Vance and Democrat Tim Walz were poor candidates. This was a chance to rectify that. The moderators began the debate by sketching out a Middle East threatened by the nuclear ambitions of Iran. Should the U.S., as a result of this, launch preemptive strikes against our country? Neither candidate chose to answer the question. Walz retreated into praising Kamala Harris's qualities.
What we've seen out of Vice President Harris is we've seen steady leadership. We've seen a calmness that is able to draw on the coalitions to bring them together, understanding that our allies matter.
And Vance seemed taken by surprise by the question and launched into a description of his family background before eventually settling on this response.
Look, it is up to Israel what they think they need to do to keep their country safe, and we should support our allies wherever they are when they're fighting the bad guys. I think that's the right approach to take with the Israel question.
Throughout the debate, Vance gave the more polished performance, with Walz growing more confident over time. But Kamala Harris' running mate did have to admit that he had misspoken when he said in the past that he was in Tiananmen Square during the Chinese crackdown there.
I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect, and I'm a knucklehead at times.
And Vance seemed tellingly stumped when asked about whether Joe Biden won the 2020 election against Donald Trump.
And I would just ask that, did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future.
Those last two exchanges are creating the biggest headlines after this debate. Meanwhile, both candidates being unable to rule out a preemptive strike on Iran on behalf of Israel appears to have passed without controversy. Odunayo Sawyer, Osrc News. In another development, U.S. former President Jimmy Carter celebrated his 100th birthday on Tuesday, becoming the first former U.S. president to reach the milestone. For the past 19 months, the centenarian has been in home hospice care in Plains, Georgia, yet he continues to surpass expectations. This resilience mirrors his extraordinary journey from a family peanut farming and warehouse business to the global arena. Carter served as the 39th president from 1977 to 1981 and has spent over 4 decades at the helm of the Carter Center, which he co-founded with his wife Rosalind in the year 1982. Israel has declared the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres persona non grata, accusing him of failing to specifically condemn Iran's missile attack on Israel. Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz, in a statement, said anyone who cannot unequivocally condemn Iran's heinous attack on Israel does not deserve to step foot in Israeli soil. The statement said Guterres is an anti-Israel Secretary General who lends support to terrorists, rapists, and murderers. It noted that Guterres, who he said supported the murderers in Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and now Iran, the mothership of global terror, will be remembered as a stain on the history of the UN for generations to come. And that's it on the news at 7, but before we go, let's take another look at the major stories. We told you that Governor Aiyedatiwa has received Northern Senatorial Needs Assessments report as he promised to address local development challenges. We also told you that Barra residents have applauded government intervention on rural road construction. House of Representatives have demanded conferment of GCON for Speaker.